Hey, welcome back to another edition of Ego on Break. I'm your host, Dynamite J. Andrews. Got the Mississippi Madman Logan Creed over here doing research to my left. And guess he's not finding what he's wanting.
No.
So, beep.
Sorry.
So this week, I think this week's episode is going to be better than the previous episode or the episode before that, because we've got a little bonus episode floating around that should be coming up. But yeah, we apologize for how horrible the last time we watched wrestling. This time we've done a little bit better. I've been all over the place. I've watched a ton of wrestling. Some I do know results of, some I don't. Some I can just say, hey, go watch it. But overall, it was a successful weekend viewership for me. I guess you could call it that. I did see a little bit of everything, and therefore, maybe I'll have something to talk about. How was wrestling watching for you?
I watched Bound for Glory and suffered my way through MLW, and that's really all I've watched.
I as well watched MLW. I can say that I think I know why I don't like it, why they're down at Crash. I think it's because of the fact that they're too dark. Like, I like the fact that the ring is like, you have a promotion or a setup where the crowd's kind of darker, but the ring's really lit. Here, it's really not lit. Like, there was moments when Brian Pillman would like run to the ropes, and you would literally, he would go from being in like full range to being like just a shadow and then back.
Yeah.
And I really think that's what bothers me the most about these episodes where they've been down at Crash, because the wrestling's not horrible, especially this week. I enjoyed most of this episode. I did kind of cut the main event short, so I only have so much time, and if it gets to the point where I'm like, well, I'm not really grasping what y'all putting out, I just turned it off.
People.
So overall, this episode was fairly decent. I did enjoy the tag match. That was pretty good with Pillman and Davey Boy tagging against Extreme Tiger and Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee did, he defected from CMLL to Crash, CMLL to Crash. So that was pretty cool. Dragon Lee is the brother of Roosh, and it was a pretty good match.
Yeah, I liked it. Really shows Davey Boy's size in there with them little guys, man.
So that was cool. The main event, I really just didn't care for. I like the brawling all over the building kind of matches sometimes.
Not when it's 6 people.
But when you have so many people, you can't follow each person. Like, it's really hard to kind of keep it's really just too many people.
They lost me, man. I didn't know what was going on until the very end of the match.
I didn't see the very end. So tell me who won.
La Parka gives a spear.
Okay.
To what's his name? Samael, I think. I'm almost positive.
Cool. So yeah, there was that. Yeah. So that was it for MLW. We saw a tag match that wasn't a tag match. It was more like a 4-way. But it was what it was. It was short, so that made it okay. And so overall, I thought MLW was pretty decent, but I'm like you, I'm ready for them to get kind of back to their home territory.
Beyond ready.
I had some good promos in there. I really enjoyed the promos that were in it. I really like the fact that they did a segment showing like Brian Pillman and Davey Boy being fan favorites and all the people wanting to meet them and stuff, and then when they come out, they get booed. So I was like,
well, they're Mexican. Who they gonna cheer? The masked guys or a British guy? Technically Canadian, I guess.
Yes.
And Pillman's Jr.
Yeah. So overall, it was okay.
I thought, to me, it kind of come off as a face if you were a fan watching on TV.
Right.
Now at the show, they were the heel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Beyond,
But overall, it was fairly good MLW. I watched some of NXT.
I haven't watched any of that.
NXT, I dig it. Like, there was a match. It was Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair. And they opened up with that event, and it was a really, really, really good women's match. And the reason it was is because they followed the KISS formula. They kept it simple, stupid. And it was a really good match. There was a little bit of interference in there, and it was well timed. Like, I really didn't see the interference. Like, it wasn't really set up.
Yeah.
They did a phenomenal job, so I have to really give them credit for that. We got to see Trevor Lee versus Matt Riddle, who Trevor Lee is now Cameron Grimes. So he's no longer the Carolina Caveman. He's now like country strong, and he comes out with like this weird like top hat cowboy type thing on. But overall, they had a really, really good match. You probably would have enjoyed the match.
I like Trevor Lee, but he's one of those guys to me. I liked him better on the Indies than I did in Impact.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Like he become a different wrestler in Impact.
You have more freedom, you know. So
yeah, I guess so.
But this match was really well done, and I really enjoyed it. And then we got to see a 6-man match with the Forgotten Sons versus Breezango and Swerve Strickland. Shane Strickland used to be Shane Strickland. I don't remember his name now. Isaiah Scott maybe. So it was pretty good, and there was a really cool spot in there where like they did like this triple team move, and the two of the guys went to protect the other guys coming in, like to protect the pin from being broke up, and they just speared them into the other guys on the mat. So I thought that was kind of unique. But overall, what I saw of NXT was really good. I didn't watch any AEW, so I guess I'm behind on that. But I watched NWA Power, the 3rd episode. Super good. Basically, the main thing coming out of that was Eli Drake is setting himself up to be like the world's best tweener.
Yeah, that's what it feels like to me.
He's putting himself in place, whether you're a bad guy, good guy, whatever. He's coming off like, hey, I'm just here to help. And him and Tim Storm tagged, and they did a pretty good job. I don't remember who they tagged against because I'd watched it last week when it first aired. So
I thought it was the Dawsons, wasn't it?
It was the Dawsons. That's exactly who it was. And overall, NWA Power, still really, really enjoying those. Or still really it's still that breath of fresh air, so to speak. And I'm definitely enjoying that.
I'll tell you one guy that showed up, and it was I think it was a week before, but it was Murdoch.
Yeah, Trevor Murdoch.
And he wrestled some young guy there.
Caleb Connolly.
I think so. And Connolly won.
Yeah.
And he walked in and goes, "You were the better man tonight." But I was like, man, I hadn't seen Murdoch in forever.
And he's a guy that's semi-local to us.
Yeah, and it was a good match. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was a really solid thing,
Caleb Connolly's a phenomenal worker.
Mm-hmm.
I watched him, throughout the Carolinas, and even talked to him about coming into Ego before. Just our dates couldn't line up. And he was on Impact, and I mean, he's a guy that's really good. And I know I'm a fan of the George South little documentary thing where it's like Without a Ring or whatever. Yeah. He's in there, so it's pretty cool to see him kind of getting a real shot to be pushed. So
Murdoch was just one of those guys. He showed up, and I was glad to see him because I always liked Murdoch. Yeah. I always thought, I was like, I wish WWE would have did something with him.
Well, he was too country looking.
Well, and he was an average looking guy.
Yep.
He wasn't some muscle bound steroid freak. And he didn't fit there, that was more, when he was there is when everybody looked the same.
Yep. And him and Cade, even though Cade was the kind of big jacked up guy, they stood out from everybody else. I really enjoyed their tag team.
Yeah. And I hope they do something with him. I hope he sticks around in NWA. Yeah,
I feel like he was probably just in there to add a little name value, but I don't know, maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe not, So, I watched the ladder match from Bound for Glory.
Yes, you did.
You watched the whole event. Give us a rundown of results, a little spoiler here for those that haven't watched it.
Well, it starts with I forgot what it's called. It's a battle royal they're having.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 20-person call your shot gauntlet is what it's called.
So like the winner gets to basically he gets whatever he wants.
Shot at any title he
I got
wants. I guess he could be tag if he finds a partner, or singles, or
whatever,
cruiser, or heavyweight. I don't know what all belts they even have right now, to be honest with you.
They got a bunch.
But I'll go down the list of people. It was Eddie Edwards, Reno Scone, Jake Diener, Rohita Raju.
Yeah.
Good God. Jessica Havoc, Rosemary, Madman Fulton, Cody Deaner, Johnny Swinger, Jordan Grace, Swoggle, Kiera Hogan, Raj Singh, Tommy Dreamer, Kylie Ray, Falaba, Sabu, Shira, and that's it. And Eddie Edwards winds up going over. It come down between him and wasn't Falaba, it was the big Raj Singh.
Okay.
And I hadn't seen this guy in a long time, but man, when he showed back up, he's a big old jacked up son of a bitch now. I mean, he's
That's
huge.
cool.
Besides the crap with Mr. Flippy down below area, I could have done without him, because how do you flip
Joey
two
Ryan.
people out of the ring with Mr. Happy?
Well, it was like a
And
6-person
Yes.
flippy, wasn't it?
Eddie Edwards took it. I was just like, I want to go. Anyway, I'm gonna get off that crap.
It's fun for certain places,
it's
but like,
not.
don't do it all the time.
God, just go away. Then it was Talia Valkyrie versus Tanel Dashwood. And honest to God, this is probably one of the best women's matches I've seen this year.
Yeah. And that's saying something for the
awesome
madman, because he
match, yeah.
normally doesn't say positive things about women wrestling.
Well, I'm sorry. I do when it's good, and when it's bad, I'm not going to sit there and go, "Oh, it was awesome."
But it was good,
It
huh?
sucked. It was. This was a really, really good match.
Solid.
But I've always liked Talia Valkyrie, and I wasn't a fan of Tanel Dashwood when she did the crap in NXT. It was, well, what the hell are you doing?
She's dancing, I think.
Whatever. But
Popping bubbles or something.
that drove me insane, because I was like, "You're a good wrestler. Stop doing the dumb shit."
Trained by Lance Storm, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow, that really blows my mind. She,
Welcome to the world of sports entertainment.
I guess so. We got a really dumb idea here. Do this.
And she got it over. That's the bad thing.
She really
But
did.
once she made it to the main roster, you're like, the stuff that got you over, even though it was stupid and you made it work, we're gonna quit doing that.
Well, they tried doing it and never got over. The crowd was like, "What is she doing?" But to me, that always proved like not everybody's watching NXT, because people would be in the crowd and they're like, "Well, what the hell is she doing?"
Who is this person?
Yeah. So for everybody that thinks everybody watches NXT, when they come to the main roster and they get zero reaction, that's all the proof in the world that not everybody watches NXT.
Be surprised of how many people are just Monday Night Raw fans.
Yes.
Like they don't even watch SmackDown. They're not WWE fans. They're Monday Night Raw.
And Talia Valkyrie wins via pinfall. Honestly, like I said, honest to God, I really believe that's one of the best women's matches I've seen this year.
That's awesome.
Next was a 3-way tag match. The North versus Rich Swann and Willie Mack versus Rhino and Rob Van Dam.
I like the North.
Yes, I'm a huge fan of that. After I've seen them, I'd seen them a few times before, but I don't think they were calling themselves the North yet. They were just like a tag team.
Yeah. Well, the one guy, Josh Alexander, he was in another tag team. And then Ethan Page, Ethan Page, he was several different things there in Impact. Like, just throw him in there. Like, I think one time he was like Joseph Parks, like, cousin or something. It was like a mini lawyer or something. I don't know, like an apprentice or something like that. And he's been in a lot of places, but they definitely work really well together. I'm definitely a big fan of the North.
But during the match, if you watch it, you see Rob Van Dam sees all these people doing his moves, and he's kind of you kind of see he's looking discouraged, like legit. And at one point he goes to the top rope and he's going for the 5-star frog splash, and Willie Mack beats him to it. And he's kind of like, "Look at this mother." And ain't about 2-3 minutes later, he super kicks Rhino. And
So he
just
turned heel on
walks out of the
everybody.
ring. He's like, "What the?" And it just kind of looked like it was a buildup of abundance of people stealing his crap, and he got peed off about it and kicked his own partner in the face.
That's pretty cool.
Well, the crowd was yelling, "Gore, gore, gore," and it's like he wasn't really getting the reaction Rhino was. So he flipped on him and left.
A little
And
heel
then,
turn. Maybe this will be good.
That was kind of cool.
Go back to cocky in your face Rob Van Dam.
Yeah,
Instead of,
that's what
Hey man.
Yeah. But
man.
the North wound up. I think they pinned Rich Swann. They did.
Cool.
With it's a weird. It's like I'm trying to explain. Now how can I explain this? It's a fireman's carry into an Alabama sit-out slam.
Oh, cool.
It's really weird. But the one guy does the fireman's carry and throws him over, and to the other guy doing the fall-out slam. So it's weird, but it was cool. I did like the turn. I thought that was really decent.
Yep, I dig that.
Then it was Michael Elgin versus
Elgin, not Elgin.
Elgin, my bad, Elgin, whatever. Naomichi Marufuji.
Ah, Marufuji.
Cool. And of course, they have a knockdown drag-out match. I mean, just say that any other way is just stupid.
Right.
They basically have a Japanese-style match. And honestly, I didn't think at first the crowd was into it. But then I realized, no, they're just watching the match. Because eventually they start chanting, "This is awesome, this is wrestling, blah, 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 blah." But, Elgin goes over.
Michael Elgin's definitely got like to get back in EO, for sure.
Yes, he's
such a good dude.
His match was phenomenal that they had with us here. And then was the ladder match. Jake Chris versus Tessa Blanchard versus Daga versus Ace Austin versus Ace Romero versus the
AC
ladders.
baby.
Yes. I don't know what is Ace, 400, 500?
I'm
being honest, I don't know.
Man, but he's huge.
But when I saw him come out there in the ladder match, I'm like, did they got an escalator somewhere he's going to roll up here to try to win this?
Technically, it took 2 ladders for him to climb up. But
and then one for him to fall off of and damn near die.
Solid match.
Yes.
Some things did make quite a bit of sense. They were spots just to be spots.
AC diving on the
ladder. I'll show you. I'll knock that ladder out of your hand by landing on it on the floor. Like I didn't get it.
He looked in utter pain and they looked in confusion.
Yeah. Like, well, hey, dummy. But Ace definitely stepped up. Like he took some bumps I didn't think he'd be taking.
No,
and
he did.
And man, like you owe it to yourself just to watch him bump. Because like he wasn't scared. I mean, he was scared, but he wasn't scared.
No, he didn't. He's like, you give me an opportunity. I think he's trying to prove himself.
Yep, and I think that's exactly what it was. Like,
I mean, he went to the top of the ladder and took probably the most dreadful bump in the whole match.
100%.
Oh my God, I thought he was dead. He flopped around like a big old fish outside because he's at the top, and Tessa Blanchard pushes the ladder. And at first, I didn't think she was going to be able to push it because she's, and then you're like,
tell you what, she is vicious, man.
Oh, in the ring, I love watching her as a worker, man.
She beating folks down.
She beat everybody's ass up in that movie, in that wrestling match. But when AC took the bump, I still say I don't know what he was trying to do with his foot on the rope, but his foot goes.
I think he was just trying to guide himself or something.
Maybe I don't know, but all I know is that rope said, "Yep, that ain't happening," and he went straight through a table that literally turned into a particle board.
It said poof,
bruh.
Like Ace Austin said abracadabra.
Yes, and the way the finish of the match was, Ace, the other Ace, hitting Tessa Blanchard in the head with his magical poofy stick.
Yeah, his wand.
Yes,
I thought it was pretty cool because if I'm not mistaken, like he never it was like poof and then poof again and it was gone. So
no,
like
it broke.
Oh, is that what it
broke
was?
over her head.
I got
like
you.
when he hit her, it turned into an L and he drops it. Yeah.
Okay, I was watching it from my phone, so I swear I thought it just like disappeared.
No.
I mean, that was cool. Like
it literally broke over her head.
Yeah, like you didn't have it and then you had it. Yeah.
Because I was even thinking I was like with a break added to it because that makes you hit her so damn hard. But and then he won. Like he was not the guy I expected to win.
No, I really didn't think he was going to win. If anything, I thought Jake Christ would have been the winner. And in reality, Jake was probably the least involved in the whole match. Like, he had a few things he did, but, like, for the most part, like, he was not the main people in the match.
No, not at all.
So
he got a couple of really cool spots in, but Jake coming out looking like a marching band member. I didn't know what the hell was going on there.
Weird cats, man.
Yes, he was, bro. Hair dyed all blonde. I'm like... I'd seen him a few times before, but never been just a huge fan of his.
Now, do you know who he and his brother were? Like, you know the evolution of where they came from?
Irish Airborne.
Irish, that's it. Yeah. Irish Airborne. Who looked nothing like what they look like
now.
I
got some Ring of Honor stuff, and they were kind of like his tag team that had a couple of moves that went together, but they were just never.
Well, one of them got hurt.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying.
And that's kind of what happened.
And maybe that was part. I'm just saying, but they never really got over.
Yeah.
Like the fans were like, okay, cool.
Yeah, it was like, hey, y'all really, we love what you're doing, but we don't dig what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, we don't like the Irish Airborne thing. It was that generic tag team. You know, it wasn't anything super special. And they kind of reinvented themselves as Ohio is for Killers or OI4K. Like, it really helped them like reinvent and like come back and be relevant again.
I mean, you never find your first. If you get your gimmick first go round, you got lucky.
Right. And there's a few people that have, but chances are you got to evolve. You know.
I mean, Sterling Gold. You know, a lot of people don't know who the hell that is.
Or with the big T in his chest.
Yes, exactly. So, you know.
Oh, my boy.
So, you know, look up Sterling Golden. You'll be very surprised.
Yeah, Sterling Golden,
really,
isn't it?
Golden, yeah, I said wrong one, my bad. But, yeah, you'll find out who he is.
And you'll know it's him because he'll have a giant T shaved into his chest hair.
That's right, brother.
Or his chest hair shaved as a giant T or something. So, yeah.
That was a heart.
No, I think it was a T.
I thought it was a heart.
Yeah, who knows? You'll know it's
But
him.
anyway, you'll know. But the next match was Moose versus Ken Shamrock.
Oh,
and this
sweet.
was really the reason I went to this pay-per-view to watch it, because I used to be a huge Ken Shamrock fan. Yeah, this match did not do what I thought it was going to be. But, you know, Ken's like 55, 56 years old.
Just the fact he was there doing it is cool.
Yeah, oh yeah, and he come out all swole and jacked to hell. He looks like a freaking professional bodybuilder. He's like Stallone.
Yeah.
You know, you never think this guy's gonna look good, and he takes his shirt off. You're like, holy shit. Yeah. So they had a good. For what it was, I enjoyed it.
Cool.
It was not a great technical match. He did 2 dives. He did one that almost killed him, and then he just did a crossbody over the top rope, and
which is something he had done before. Like that's.
Yeah, no, he had never did. You know,
No, he never did the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he almost died.
He was a
when did that
crossbody
one.
guy.
But he did the crossbody over the top rope, and Moose caught him on that one. But Moose lands his spear on Shamrock and hits the 1, 2, 3. So, which I mean, that was the correct
should
ending,
have.
yes. I mean, because a lot of people were like, "Well, you get the nostalgia win," and I was like, "Well, that's one way to go," but you'd rather put Moose over.
Build your guys.
You know, you don't,
build your guys.
Shamrock had nothing to gain out of that.
Right.
You know, I mean, he got a good payday probably.
First NWA champion.
Yes,
Or
I
first
mean,
TNA
Impact
or whatever.
champion. And they talked about that. But if anything, Moose got a nice little rub beating Ken Shamrock, the world's most dangerous man.
Right.
And then the next main event is Brian Cage versus Sami Callihan, and they tear it up. But this match was more or less like anger, because Sami Callihan broke a wine bottle over Cage's old lady's head.
Oh, cool.
And it was kind of an accident. Like, he went to hit him, and she stepped in between them, and he smoked her.
So it's the
Shawn Michaels thing with Jericho a couple of years ago. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. So
But,
Callis is there helping.
yeah. But I mean, it was a good match. But spoiler alert: Brian Cage is no longer your champion. A couple days later, he loses the belt to a cage match with Brian Cage, which is kind of
Sami Callihan versus Brian Cage.
Yeah, in a cage.
Yeah.
And lost in a cage to Sami Callihan. So Sami Callihan is your new Impact.
Awesome. About
champion.
time.
No kidding.
About time.
They've teased the hell out of this damn
About
championship.
time. So overall, do you think people should go out of their way to find Impact and watch it? I mean, I know this technically wasn't Impact, but it was Impact pay-per-view. Like, did you enjoy the pay-per-view? Yeah.
Besides the Joey Ryan crap, yes.
Yeah, awesome.
And even I enjoyed Joey Ryan when he wasn't doing the stupid flippy dippy stuff.
Yeah.
You know, when he was just regular wrestling, I'm a fan of Joey Ryan in regular wrestling. I liked him in the XPW when he was tagging with Mr. Butt Tassels, and they were doing the. You remember that?
Yeah.
I mean, they were a good tag team. I liked watching Joey Ryan wrestle. I was a big Joey Ryan fan. I'm not a fan of the
the
Happy
move that
Flip.
got him famous.
Yeah, the stupidity.
Yeah. So it's sad that's the wrestler couldn't get you over, but the dumb thing.
When the guy gets in the ring, he goes, "Touch it!" And I'm like, no.
Kick it. So overall, that's what we've watched this week. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode way more than you enjoyed the previous episode, because I know we got a thumbs down on that episode, and it was probably rightly deserved.
I don't blame.
So,
I got lost. You told me some Joey Janela stuff, and I just went straight down the toilet.
But overall, guys, hey, check out some of the previous videos. Leave us comments. We still, looking for things to talk about. And we've got some unboxing videos. Check those out too. You may enjoy them. So until next week.
Picture.
Yeah, got a nice glacier picture. So until next week,
Watch wrestling.
watch wrestling.